And welcome back to the RedSeaPodcast, the podcast that has been an emotional roller coaster in the past three episodes, going from depressed to the most joyful and then depressed again. And as I opened up when I shared the, the stream, also I am gonna get a new chair at some point, I swear. But yeah, as I opened up when I shared the stream, I honestly don't know where to begin. I don't know what to say specifically. I am at a loss for words, as I'm sure everyone is. I am at a loss for words, not not because we lost, because I don't necessarily think that anyone expected us to win today's game. Sure, people could have been hopeful. I personally wasn't in the slightest, but I don't think that at least the main majority expected us to win this game. But I'm mad for this. We went out of the final four knowing that we finished third, and we, at least amongst the fans, had one major demand, which, in my opinion, was, is, and will keep being, even if it doesn't come, that the league, after such a year, not such a year, after such a conclusion to a year like this one, was the bare minimum. And opening up a final series where you are already in a tough spot, in and out of the court, with not only a lack of reaction, but being completely passive, completely passive in how you play. Again, bar very minor exceptions, which for me the exceptions are uh, Fall and Milutinov. The bigs for me showed up today. If we had a guard that played half a game of basketball, they'd have done even better. Evan and Alec. I don't wanna shit on Josh. I really don't, and you all know that I don't. You all know how much I love Vezenkov as a player, but he seems, and it feels stupid to say that Sasha seems out of it because he had that double double today. Sasha finished the game with 20, 10, and 2. But in this may be delusion on my end, I don't know. Do correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but he seems mentally out of it. I don't know if he's drained. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if the so-called fans go to him, but he seems out of it. And par the mentioned people, no one, and I mean no one showed up. Some people were mediocre, and some people were without any, absolutely any. exaggeration. Some people were hard to watch today. Some people were very hard to watch today. And this is a comment that puts me in a hard position, but this is a comment that I expected. No one over Olympiacos, but Nigel Williams will be missed. Of course, Nigel's story is weird. Nigel out injured, at least claimed injured, and as everything looks, he has played his final game with an Olympiacos jersey moving to Zalgiris on a 2+1. I don't know what to comment on this because I'm not gonna hide behind my finger. I am a person that has supported everyone that has played for Olympiacos when they played for Olympiacos, whether I did like the player or I didn't. For a major example, a major example is Tyler Dorsey. Never wanted him to come back, but I am never gonna go out on a limb and attack him because he's still an Olympiacos player. But Goss, I was advocating for Nigel a lot. In hindsight, he played insanely for 2 months and then he magically signed the contract. That's in hindsight. But did he give a lot to the team this season? Yes, he did. And for that, I am going to be grateful to him. Goss is a player that I'll continue to like and continue to appreciate for what he gave to the team, even if he had quite a few bad moments. I am not going to hide behind my finger and say that I didn't advocate for him because I advocate for everyone playing for Olympiacos. But in accumulation with hindsight and everything that's happened prior to this was foul. This was very foul, and I'm not doubting the man's injury, but this was very foul. So I think that's as diplomatic as my answer can be for the whole Nigel situation right now. But that's a very, very, very good uh, roller coaster to the guards' performance today. Lack of, because fuck me, that was no basketball performance. Thomas, I I don't know anymore. He's a shadow of his former self at best. He's giving nothing offensively, a literal zero offensively. I think, yeah, he finished with 0, 2, and 3. Um, he had 5 attempted, 0 made, 3 2 pointers, 2 3 pointers, all missed. He had, let me actually check, no steals, no blocks, and 18 minutes. Thomas's role needs to be reduced a lot. He needs to be reevaluated in the summer on his condition. And again, this is no hate in the slightest on Wolfhard. He he has been representing Olympiacos at the highest level uh, for the past God knows how many years. But his role needs to be reduced. He needs to be evaluated in the summer, and he needs to be used correctly next year. I don't want Thomas to go for multiple reasons, both on the court and off, but his minutes need to get reduced significantly moving forward because as much as I hate to say it, and he wasn't the only one, but he literally gave nothing offensively. He was a burden today. Sadly, he was a burden today. I can recall, I don't even know if it was woke up because all of our guards did nothing but maybe Luca for a few minutes. And do you know what the worst thing is? I thought we'd be in this. I came I came into the game with zero expectations. I came into the game with nothing in mind after what we'd seen. And my expectations somehow weren't even hit. Starting off the first quarter, not starting off the first quarter, ending the first quarter and starting off the second, I thought we were in it. The main issue in the first half was Pau's insane, insane, mind goddamn blowing 3-point percentage. And let me actually see how much that was. Um, First quarter, their 3-point percentage was 57.1%, and in the second, the 3-point percentage was 33.3%. Especially, where is he? Grant, Zariah Grant had, I think at some point he had 5 out of 5. I'm pretty sure he did at some point. No, he had 4 out of 4. He finished the game with 4 out of 5 3, and he finished as the second top scorer, only behind Sasha Vezenkov. Our, I was gonna say our peripheral defense, but you take a second to criticize the peripheral defense, and then you look at the God knows how many alleys we conceded with the recipient being Yurtseven, mainly, who finished the game with 12-7-1, by the way. I I'm pausing so much because I don't know where to grasp it from. I I had this convo on Twitter. Also, I severely apologize about the yawning. I don't know if it's general exhaustion or I'm just tired of this BS. I had a conversation on Twitter that I am trying my damn hardest to wait until the season is over to form a full picture on everything and everyone. And again, I'll say the same thing that I said as a response. It's not that I am positive, because I've never hidden my opinion from any of you, and nor will I now. I never really thought that we'd manage to get the lead. Apologies again. I didn't think we'd barely show up, but I didn't think that we'd ever manage to go and get the league. But I lost my train of thought. Um, I just want to wait until the end of the season to see if it's gonna be an approach that's needed to just take a step back, take a breather, look over everything, and find a way to work around it, or if it just needs to be an explosion, because there is a difference, sadly. And I fear, I mainly fear, that we're leaning towards option two as things go. And because it's unfair to just touch on Thomas Walkup, the car crash that was Tyler Dorsey's performance today, as was most people's, honestly, to be fair to Dorsey, but nothing, nothing across the board. Like, I know that stats don't show anything. Okay, I know that stats show like 50% of everything, but nothing across the board. Also, question, side side tangent. Tyler gets 8 minutes today. Larezakis is a DNP. Why? We are talking about a man that's DNP and that gave a speech, pretty sure at halftime, to hype his teammates up, to fight for the bare minimum, to show up, to react. The fact that they didn't is a different story. But how actively, how much worse would Laredakis have been if he got those 8 minutes instead of Tyler Dorsey? And I'm not even comparing him to anyone else, but how much worse would Lara have been? And again, I know that we are talking about Giannis Laredakis, not Michael freaking Jordan, but with how our guards performed, honestly, we needed anything. We needed anything. We needed a breath of fresh air. Did we get it? No. Luka had 19 minutes today, and I think like 5 of those were good. But in general, we didn't have no guards today. I I feel like Milutinov did, because honestly, I feel like Milutinov himself didn't know what play the guards were going for. I recall to a video of him discussing with Bartzokas that he didn't know what was happening. It, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for none of your guards to do anything. Lee performed the best statistically out of everyone, but even he was underwhelming today. Of course, as I said, if one of the guards, if one of the guards performed like half a basketball player, the bigs would have done much better today. I truly believe that the bigs would have done much better today. But still, they both, especially Moose, and Moose needed desperately. I feel like Fall, again, I mentioned Peters, who we'll get into in a bit, separately from everyone. Peters, Fall, Milu, and Devan reacted the way that they should have. Sasha is a 50-50 case, and the other were just no shows. I feel like that's the best way to actively put it. But yeah, Fall with a 15-7-1 did his job defensively. Let me actually go on and check if he managed to get a block. He actually didn't, but he still did his job defensively. And most importantly, we took advantage of the lack of Lesor. We took advantage of the lack of size, and we took advantage in the offensive rebounds, and we took advantage, especially through Fall, in the second chance points, in playing paint basketball and posting up and scoring like Fall should be doing. He should have been doing it. Like this one is a good reaction, yes, but it doesn't take away anything. But, but, because I want to stay on the positive side as much as possible because there isn't much positives to grasp onto. Fall reacted well, and again, Milu did too, despite the more mediocre stat line of 4 and 2 with a steal to his name. I feel like if guards played better, they'd have done even more. Is it safe to say that Olympiacos need a player in every position with a guard minimum, depending on how Evans comes back as well? I'd say we need a 3, but we got a 3 in Tyson Ward if nothing falls apart last minute. We need a 5 for sure. No. Depends on if Milo stays. We either need 1-5 or 2. I don't know if we need a 4. I Alec can be tested at the 3, and so can Sasha. So maybe we need a 4. And yeah, it's safe to say that Olympiacos needs a player in every position. I I wanted to try and avoid um, anything transfer wise until the end of the season. That's why I'm trying to avoid all the names. I'm trying to see what's uh, what's reliable, what's not, where to stand, where to not, and it's not easy. Let me tell you that because Christ above, it's not easy. Let me actually see if I can fix something in my setup. Uh, I don't know if you all can hear me right now. Give me a quick second. I hope everything's going okay. Um, this is a rare occasion. The setup on my laptop just completely froze up. I am back. Okay, yeah, everything's okay. Do let me know if you heard everything that I said for the past like 3 minutes. Otherwise, I am gonna repeat myself if I need to. But as I was saying, I think the short answer to the question is yes. Yes, Olympiacos need a player in every position. Olympiacos need a player not necessarily traditionally in every position, but Olympiacos need players that can cover multiple positions if needs be, like a Fournier, like a Peters, like a Sasa. And yeah, um, now I'm just having just a spew of names just flood my head. Yeah, yeah. The short answer is yes. The short answer to the question, at least in my opinion, is yes. Where even was I? Christ. Um. Yes. I wanted to talk about Evan Fournier, one of the players that reacted, not insanely, but again, that's a bit on Pana's defensive credit because both him and Sasa were who Panathinaikos focused on, and barely anyone else showed up. As we said, the people that did take their chances was Alec and the bigs, no one else. But even if he was locked down as he was, because I think that's safe to say when a player like Grant is marking you, um, he was the Ivan we know. He fought for every play, and he again led by example. An example that if most don't follow, they need to be gone because this team needs players that know what this badge means and how to fight for it. Because if they don't deserve to wear it. That's that's as simple as it can get. Truly, I think that's as simple as it can get. Truly, the alley oops. They just keep replaying it in my mind. I think I'm gonna have a bloody nightmares from the alley oops we received today. Another mistake wasn't just the lack of reaction. It truly wasn't just the lack of reaction. It was how many rushed decisions we took in general. Again, felt like the guards at some point weren't following the place that Bartzokas was shaping up, which confused the bigs, which led. I'm pretty sure we had a run of attacks which was back to back to back, just stolen ball and Panathinaikos on the counter. The chemistry was nowhere to be found. Nowhere, nowhere, absolutely nowhere. the players, most players seemed completely lost. A lot of them seemed completely checked out, like the league doesn't matter, which is sacrilege when you play for Olympiacos. The same goes for the fans, by the way, in my opinion. If you say that the league doesn't matter, not that you think that we can't win this, that's different. But if you say that no one cares or the league doesn't matter, you're just not a true fan of this club, in my opinion, at least. And that doesn't go for basketball, it goes for every sport. Olympiacos is born and made to fight as one and to go for everything. And Olympiacos will always, even in the darkest days, fight for it all. And we will fight for Olympiacos, as we've shown. No coach, no player, no owners, no nothing. This badge, as I pointed out before, is above everything. This badge will always be above everything. Our 3-point percentage, because I talked about the 3 points that we considered. Our 3-point percentage was god awful, 5 out of 20. At some point, let me actually check with how much we ended up. Um, much we ended up with 7 out of 26 3-pointers. 7 out of 26. While Pana had 10 out of 31. Not that Panathinaikos had a crazy percentage during the game, but that's because they completely ruined it in the fourth, because the game was basically already over. As I said, in the first and the second, we got eviscerated by Panathinaikos threes, while we could make nothing, nothing at all. The worst thing is that I can recall a play of Fildoza getting an open three and airballing it, which is insane to me. This is exactly the point I covered. Panathinaikos weren't bad on the three. Panathinaikos ruined it at the end because I I even mentioned it off air that at some point, especially Grant and Nan, I think had a combined of 7 out of 10 at the start. The first half for Pana from long range, not that we defended them, but the first half for Pana for long range was deadly. And again, one of the most shameful plays, because this play was shameful, is letting Slukas celebrate in your face after giving him the miles to score an open three from fuck knows how far out. And the fact that we're letting Slukas celebrate is one of the most shame-worthy things of this whole goddamn story. Because I want to talk about something else as well, before I stop about this god awful game, I'm gonna talk about the man that deserves his recognition, the man that even in the worst of games will always be there, and the man that when he gets the playtime that he deserves, and when he plays with Vezenkov, he plays incredibly. That, of course, is Alec Peters. Whether it's the crucial open threes, whether it's the passion, whether it's anything and everything, he was incredible today. And honestly, I think the best way to describe Alec today was the saving grade. Because God, there weren't many. There weren't many. The toxicity that has been going around from everyone after the Final Four is unbearable. And I am not going to excuse anyone for what's been happening. Again, this is something that I will touch on in detail in the season review after the final. But the fact that everyone is attacking everyone, and I'm not even going to talk about Panathinaikos, I'm not going to talk about Dragic. The fact that we are attacking each other, whether it's for Coach P, whether it's for players, whether it's calling each other stupid, calling each other fake fans, calling each other this, that, and the other. That's the worst thing that can happen to this club. If we stand divided, that's the worst thing that can happen to this club. The club needs change, but we all need to stand behind. And I think that's the best ending message for today. Hope today was okay. I hope today made sense. And hope you all have a good night because I know we're all very tired. For everyone that may be watching this that started their finals today, I wish you all the best of luck. I wish you all amazing success. And I'm not gonna say the usual advice, but I am gonna tell you that if you have truly worked enough for something that you yourself want, you'll go in there and feel it. Both as you did today and for the rest of the class. Thank you everyone for watching. I know you're all tired, and I know I am as well, but we need to stick behind this. No matter what, the good and the bad and the ugly, we need to stick behind this team and those who truly and wholeheartedly deserve to be in it. See you on Sunday. Thank you everyone.